We interrupt the internet with breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a sanctioned bout between one exhausted man and a story that has 10 legs but somehow less common sense. Tail of the tape, Bob. Height, enough. Reach, one desk. Division, adult male, lightly hydrated. Training, loud opinions. The news, height, 60 feet. Reach, entire city block. Division, polyester invertebrate. Training, children's birthday party infrastructure. In the blue corner, Bob. In the green, yellow, and deeply unsettling corner, a human caterpillar that completed a half marathon. Good evening, everybody. Happy whatever time it is where you are. Tonight, I am fighting a 60-foot caterpillar made of grown adults and play tunnels. And before anyone says, Bob, they raised money and had fun. Yes, good for them. The runners are heroes. I'm fighting the costume. The costume is a crime scene with drawstrings. 10 people from a running club in England climbed into a 60-foot caterpillar costume and ran a half marathon. A half marathon. 13.1 miles. That is not a race. That is a very active hostage situation. Bob opens fast. He has identified the central weakness. No adult should need a lead segment. Who approved this at registration? Any medical conditions? Yes, we're all inside a caterpillar. Any emergency contact? Whoever's in front. The front person has all the power. They're the CEO of legs. The middle people are in middle management. And the poor person in the back, that's just a company intern holding a tail and wondering when this became their life. Oh, reality lands a clean shot with the rear of the animal. And it was made from children's play tunnels. Because apparently the sentence, I'm training for a half marathon, no longer ends at shoes. Now it ends with, and Greg is the abdomen. A surgical insult from Bob. Greg may never recover. Greg will recover. Greg is in the middle. He has no choice. After one round, Bob is the winner, but the news is not far behind. And let's discuss strategy. A normal runner worries about pace, hydration, cramps. Maybe that guy in the neon tank top who's somehow running backward. This team had to worry about synchronization. One person slows down, and suddenly the caterpillar becomes a decorative balloon animal at a child's dentist. The news is pouring it on. That creature has the turning radius of a city bus. Imagine mile 9. The front says, we need to pick it up. The middle says, I can't hear you. The back says, I've been staring at Dave's calves since breakfast. That's not endurance. That's a hostage negotiation with electrolytes. Bob rallies. He has weaponized the human calf. And what's the finish line photo? 10 adults emerging from a giant caterpillar, looking like a magic trick performed by a preschool with a gambling problem. The announcer says, here they come. No, sir. That is one thing coming. 10 people made a decision and became one tube. Devastating. The news has unified its attack. We need to stop calling this a costume. A costume is a pirate hat. A costume is a witch cape. This is municipal plumbing with goals. Bob's own punchline has turned against him, a brutal self-inflicted callback. The news leads now after 2 rounds. The team reportedly set out to make a Guinness World Record. And I love Guinness. I really do. But at some point, Guinness has to say, this is not a record. This is just a sentence we regret printing. Bob is demanding regulation, the dangerous move against an organization that once measured a man's fingernails. The category is essentially most people dressed as a caterpillar who can run very far without turning into a lawsuit. That is so specific it sounds like a clause in a theme park waiver. By entering this race, you acknowledge that the abdomen may experience disagreement. 9 points. The news has entered its final form. Contractual nonsense. This is where we are now. Humanity looked at a half marathon and said, too much personal accomplishment. Make it impossible to pee. And the front of the caterpillar gets all the glory. Everyone's cheering, cameras flashing, medals waiting. Meanwhile, in the rear, one exhausted adult is seeing nothing but a fabric tail and the collapse of Western civilization. Bob lands a late shot from the back end. But I respect the achievement, truly. They finished together, they supported one another, and they proved that friendship means never letting your friends run 13 miles dressed as a digestive system. And that will do it. The news survives the judgment, the scrutiny, and the impossible geometry. 36 points. That's corrupt. The judges were clearly seated inside the caterpillar. By a unanimous decision, the winner is the news. Still undefeated, still making cardio feel medically suspicious. What we learned. We learned that teamwork is beautiful until it becomes a 60-foot digestive tract. We learned that every hobby eventually becomes competitive if you add a stopwatch and poor judgment. And we learned that the person at the rear of the caterpillar deserves hazard pay, a medal, and their own bathroom. Bob fought bravely, but tonight he was defeated by 10 runners, 1 tube, and the terrifying power of organized friendship. Until next time, good night, stay weird, and remember, if somebody asks you to join a fun group run, confirm you're not the abdomen.